Hey, my legion, how you all doing today? If you've been watching my videos, you know I've been doing some neat videos telling you my thoughts about different movie franchises that have been around for a while or still in people's memories, even if they don't make the movies anymore. And usually most of them are done in the 80s, and I thought I'd continue this. And usually they were horror film, but I'm going to step into the range of comedy now with two of the most I don't know, infamous among critics as comedy franchises in the 80s. And I'm going to start off with the Police Academy movies, and then I'm going to go into the Porky's movies. And I'll tell you my reviews and personal history and thoughts of these movies. And actually, I found some box office too, which is pretty neat. So I can give you some box office numbers, like I did with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, which is I'm doing this early Sunday morning. That one's going to publish in like 32 minutes because I scheduled it. So let's go ahead with Police Academy movies. Now, I can't remember which one I saw first. I either saw the second one or the first one first, because some of these are out of order, but I'm going to just talk about the very first Police Academy movie. Now, when it first came out, came out in 1984. That was the only one that was R-rated, and then they started changing. They started cleaning the movies up somewhat to make it more family friendly, because the next one was PG-13, and then they were all PG rated. And in the very first Police Academy movies, they talk about the whole setup. I can't remember the plots or anything like that. I mean, it's like a raunchy comedy set in a police academy. And I remember really liking it. I remember that it was heavily advertised. They especially had that scene with the girls crying in Tackleberry sees, "What's wrong, little girl?" And said, "My cat's caught in the tree." And said he brought a gun. He took the gun and said, "Hey, you come out of the tree now, mister," or something like that. And he shoots the tree or something like that. And the cat drops into her arms or some crap like that. I don't think he shoots the cat, but in the commercial man looked like he might have shot the cat to get out of the tree. I really liked the first one. I enjoyed it. We rented it on videotape, and I had a good time. I thought it was very funny. Yeah, I give that a 10 out of 10. I liked the movie very well. Now, the next one is the second one came out, and I only saw this one once. PG-13 rated. And like I said, Mom took my sister and I to watch that at not Tinseltown, Cinema World. Tinseltown didn't come out till 95, till like 10 years later in Erie. That was a big movie house that put like all the other movie houses in Erie out of business, pretty much, except for like one drive-in now. Even the Dollar Theater's out of business. That sucks. And this one, the Police Academy, the second one was very entertaining. Even my mom liked it. I didn't think, we were real excited to see Police Academy. I think we saw this one first before we saw the first one, because the first one was R-rated, and it was an 84, and since this one was PG-13, she took us to see it, and we really enjoyed it. My sister and I enjoyed it. My mom enjoyed it. My mom was even laughing. It surprised the hell out of me. And I liked the movie. I'd probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, I don't remember the plots that well. Now, what that was officially called, I'll give you the box office too before I forget. The original Police Academy movie came out March 23rd, 1984. The budget, they had the budget for this one, $4,500,000, and it grossed $81,198,894. So they decided to make more movies, And Police Academy 2 was called Police Academy 2, their first assignment, released March 29th, 1985. They don't have the budget for the movie listed, and then the domestic gross was $55,600,000. So they still made them because they made a lot of money. Now, the next one is Police Academy 3, Back in Training. Now, I remember this one real well. We rented this, and I remember my sister actually bought it. I remember watching it once or twice after that. This is the one that Leonard Maltin said was the best of the Police Academy movies, believe it or not. It was really good. There was one or two scenes that were really cringe, where that were, even I thought were stupid. but I really liked the movie too. Like I said, I really enjoyed that one. I give that probably a 9 out of 10. And it said it was released March 21st, 1986, and made $43,579,163. Okay. Now, next, like I said, I don't remember some of these that well. Next was Police Academy 4 Citizens on Patrol. And once again, we rented this one. And it had like both Back in Training and Citizens on Patrol had like one of the popular guys for Saturday Night Live, Tim Krasinski, in it. He was really funny. He was really funny on Saturday Night Live too. I don't know whatever happened to him. And Bobcat Goldthwait was in these ones. And this was the very last one that had Steve Guttenberg in it. I don't know why he left the series after this one. And also Sharon Stone, before she became really famous, was in this one too. You know, she became famous for Basic Instinct, but she also gained some fame from Total Recall too. But she was in this movie. Yeah, I really liked this one. Very funny. I remember they had Tim Krasinski. He broke like both of his arms, and he was around like that. Very funny stuff. I really like Citizens on Patrol. That's a full-on 10 out of 10. Now, the next one is Police Academy 5 Assignment Miami Beach. Now, I remember I saw this. I saw a lot of commercials for this before I went in the Army. And they had like the scene where... Was I? Wait a second. No, I was in the Army. No, my mistake. I was in the Army when this came out. This came out March 18th, 1987. And I went in the Army, November 24th, 1987. It came out March 18th, 1988. My mistake. And then Police Academy 4 Citizens on Patrol came out April 3rd, 1987. Made $28,061,343. My mistake. Okay. I remember seeing lots of ads when I used to go to, because not in basic training, but in, there's Maggie using the litter box. I don't know if you can hear it. I remember going to see lots of movies at the movie theaters in Fort Gordon, Georgia, in AIT. And they had lots of clips for that movie, and they showed like the commercial, and lots on TV too. With they said there's a shark in the water, and they said you're coming out of the water now, Mister. And they showed Tackleberry had the thing up to his nose, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I actually saw that in a military movie theater, and I really liked it. There was a couple of stupid scenes in it, and I didn't like the guy. I really didn't like the guy who replaced Steve Guttenberg at all. He was kind of lame, but he was in. So. That was a big thing. I mean, there was a couple cringeworthy moments in it. But for the most part, it was really good. I still enjoyed the film. I give that a 9 out of 10. Now, this one, I mean, you see that the box office is declining in numbers. And I know a lot of the critics said these movies weren't funny and stuff, but I thought they were brainless fun. You know? And even in The Simpsons, they said that Homer Simpson got all his training from Police Academy movies, and he said, you didn't see no one in the theater laughing. I wasn't laughing or something like that, making jokes and stuff. Police Academy 5 Assignment. Well, I saw that, like I said, I saw it in the military movie theater, and all the soldiers had a good time for the most part. I mean, there was a couple cringe-worthy moments, but, I mean, they had a good laugh, and they had, like, the part where they used the suntan lotion on that one guy, and they put Dork on his chest and stuff like that, and you could read that. I thought that was really a clever thing. I thought that was a funny movie. It's a 9 out of 10. Like I said, their box office is decreasing. That made $19,510,371 but still, it probably made back its budget. Now, next is Miami Police Academy 6 City Under Siege. Now, I had a chance. It did play at, I was in Germany at the time when this movie came. I didn't even know this movie was made because in Germany they didn't have a lot of advertising for movies and stuff like that. Unless they talked about Entertainment Tonight, you didn't know some of these movies were coming out. Um, and it played at the military theater. I missed it because I had to work. Because we worked like different shift work and stuff like that. I probably had to work second shift. So I missed this one. But I remember I seen on one of the Hard and Heavy videos. This is back when the video magazines used to come out. And Hard and Heavy was the one I got. They had Metalhead too, but Metalhead was kind of lame. I remember I bought the very first Metalhead, and then I bought the third one, and that was it for that one, because it was kind of juvenile. But the Hard and Heavies were pretty cool, and it tried to be. It was kind of juvenile, but it kind of was cutting edge and like R rated and stuff like that. And they talked to about Vince Neil on it, and Vince Neil was supposed to have a role in the movie, and he showed his little like trailer. He did a movie, and he said there's supposed to be a jacuzzi. And, oh man, they forgot the jacuzzi. It says the bar, and then they put down a little thing. And they talked to the director of the movie, and they said Vince Neil was a really good actor. And he said, being an actor, you just, it's not about acting. You just exist, and hopefully you're believable. And he said he was a very believable actor. When I finally rented the movie on videotape, he was not in the movie. I don't know what happened. He made the cutting room floor. I guess there was a scene where they showed like a little outtake of the filming of that for Hard and Heavy, and they had like Bubba Smith. And I guess he was supposed to make. He needed to get somewhere, and he asked Bubba Smith to help him out. I think he pulled out like a giant carpet, and all these people went flying so he could go down the set, or some crap like that. He was not in the movie. I was talking to my friend Jeff. I saw it with Jeff Moscow, my buddy, and he said, "Where's Vince Neil?" And he said, "I don't know. Maybe they cut him out of the movie. I don't know." And I did see that movie. This one was a very lame one. I mean, they had enough entertaining stuff in it, but it looked like very, very low budget. It looked like they had it looked completely different, because there were like scenes with Michael Winslow playing a robot. It looked like it was on like a soundstage. No one was there. Real lame bits in it. They had this one fat guy who was one of the thieves. He dropped his ice cream, goes, "Oh crapola." Little crap like that was funny, but they didn't have enough of it. And my friend Jeff said, "Yeah, that's probably the lamest of the ones." Entertaining chase scene at the end. They had a cool part with a dye pack when he came out of the bank and blew up in his face. That was kind of funny. One other noteworthy thing about that one is Siskel and Ebert used to talk about. I didn't find this out till years later. Siskel and Ebert used to say that used to complain, saying that every time there's a chase scene, they always crash into an apple cart and or a fruit stand. And in this movie, they had like a big chase scene, and they had like a fruit stand that said Roger and Jean's fruit stand, and a car avoided, and they crashed into it. And Siskel and Ebert even acknowledged that, and they said, well, it should go, it should be at least noted that, we didn't like the movie that they did that, So I thought that was different. But I mean, like I said, Jeff said that was probably the lamest. I probably have to agree. I'd probably give that a 7.5 out of 10. It was definitely, and then you see the box office really diminishing on this one. It was 11,567,217, but it's probably still made money. Now, one other thing is, I'm trying to do these whenever as they occurred. I guess that after there was an animated Police Academy movie, Police Academy cartoon series that was produced by Ruby Spears Productions at Warner Brothers, that ran from September 1988 to September 1989. I never saw that then. I saw that in Fort Bragg in the 90s. That's why I mention it now. And it didn't have anything to do with Miami Beach. It had like Steve Guttenberg, and it was more like Citizens on Patrol. You had the guy that played Sweet Chuck. That was the Tim Kwasinski character. They had different voices, and they had Bobcat Goldthwait and some guy doing a really terrible voice of him, and Steve Guttenberg. And that show was all right. It wasn't a great. It wasn't one of the better ones, but I mean, it was okay. introduction by the Fat Boys that did that did intros theme to them. That it just, I mean, a bad theme song. But I remember renting it. I bought a couple of used VHS tapes of Police Academy for my nephew AJ a long time ago. And I guess they also did a Beetlejuice cartoon, which I saw also somewhat too, and that was more well received than Police Academy, and it was better than the Police Academy one. A little bit on the gross side too. That wasn't too bad. And that was it for Police Academy movies until 1994, when they had like a big thing. Police Academy Mission to Moscow came out. Oh, that was Police Academy 6 was also called City Under Siege also. And that was, I guess, was direct to video. I guess maybe played in theaters a little bit, but it was a direct to video release. Christopher Lee was in it, of all people. No, I didn't get that on video. I didn't see that till it started playing on Cinemax, and then it had a good run on cable. Now you definitely see the box office going down. It said the domestic gross for this movie was $126,247, and it had a budget of $10 million. Now I don't know if it recouped all its money in from VHS sales, or like I don't know how much Cinemax pays to show the movie. I don't know if it made its money back or not, but that's pretty bad. And that was pretty much for the Police Academy movies. There have been talks about the movies coming back, and like they asked Michael Winslow, and said, "Well, anything's possible," but he doesn't know. And there was like things from New Line Cinema going to bring it back in 2012, but that didn't come to fruition or anything like that. They said that it was. They said they were going to be doing an upcoming film. I don't know anything about that. Nothing's been. I haven't heard anything. And then, so I mean, that's about the Police Academy movies. Now going back to 1997, I thought this was in this century, but I guess it was back then. They did an hour-long TV series, Police Academy the series. It was on the CW, and Michael Winslow was the only guy that reprised his role, and it had it lasted for like 26-hour-long episodes. Now, I don't know when the show was. I remember seeing it on the CW at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoons. I don't know if that was the initial airing of these or reruns or what. But I saw the show. It was okay. I think Joe Flaherty was in it as well. It was it was an hour long. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't really that interesting. Yeah, I watched some episodes. As soon as I found out I was on, I didn't know. And then it got to the point where if I see it, I see it. If I forget about it, no big deal. I watched something my dad said was kind of lame. I wasn't really a huge fan of the show. That was probably the weakest of all of them. Well, Police Academy Mission to Moscow, I don't know if I gave the rating for that. I give that probably a 6.5 out of 10. The one thing I liked about that, I'm going back and forth, is they had, that one guy was looking at, like a periscope up there, and you see a dog and a dog peed in. I like that, but, that was really lame. And the Police Academy series, I'd probably give that maybe a 4 out of 10. It was definitely the worst of the bunch. The cartoon series was okay. And then the only other thing about Police Academy was when La Avalanche came out, Sci-Fi said that they were talking about Steve Guttenberg coming out, and they said they were trying to reprise some of the cast members of Police Academy in there. And in this one, they had Michael Winslow once again, and then the girl that played Hooks, I don't know her name. She's really old, and she didn't do a lot in the movie. And then Leslie Easterbrook was in the first one. She got killed in the first one, and that was. I like La Avalanche. I did a review of that, and then I know Leslie Easterbrook was in a movie that I judged last year for the Horror Fest. That was she played an old lady. She hasn't aged that. She's kind of aged. She don't look like she used to as Callahan. But, that was a really good one. She had a small part in that. Now they came back with Lava-Lantula 2 or something like that. And I reviewed that one. Now this one didn't have Leslie Easterbrook, but had Mike Winslow, and there was great banter between Steve Guttenberg and Michael Winslow because Jan Hooks had a small part in this one too. And there was like things where like he was in a serious part, and then Mike Winslow would start doing his sounds and stuff like that when they were in the woods and stuff like that. And Steve Guttenberg said, "If you make those sounds, if that's you making a sound, I'm gonna shoot you in the face." Now that shit was funny. Even my dad would probably laugh at that if he was still alive to watch the movies. Yeah, those were really good. So that's pretty much my history with Police Academy movies. I know the critics hated them. In that one Video Hound Retriever book, they call that like the Friday the 13th of movie comedy sequels. I usually like most of them. I mean, they definitely went downhill in quality, but oh well. Now, next is the Porky's franchise. And the Porky's franchise, a lot of these movies, the raunchy comedies, came out because of the success of the movie Animal House. Now, when after Porky's, there was a whole... I mean, there were still teenage sex comedies before, or coming-of-age comedies before then, for Porky's. But after Porky's, the success of Porky's, there was a whole bunch of teenage sex comedies coming out about after that. Now, I remember seeing Porky's. It was like a real super raunchy comedy. I saw that in middle school at my friend's house, Robinson's. Because we went up there. This is bad. We just walked up there, you know. And I remember we saw a bunch of R-rated movies. We saw, I don't know when this was, maybe 84. I can't remember the exact date when we did this because it was all on VHS. I remember we saw Blues Brothers, The Thing, and Porky's, all R-rated movies. And then I really liked the first one. Yeah, I thought it's definitely the best of the series, of course. It was directed by Canadian filmmaker Bob Clark. And the one weird thing is, a couple years later, Bob Clark went to direct the movie The Christmas Story, which is a family classic, a big thing between Porky's and but Christmas Story. Cause I remember I told this one lady, cause I said I was talking about Porky, and I know at work, and one guy said he's seen a movie, and the one lady said, yeah, she never seen Porky. And I asked if she saw Christmas Story. She said, yeah, I love that movie. Did you know that was directed by the same guy that directed Porky's a few years back? And she was like in shock. But no, he did that, and then he went on to do Baby Geniuses, which is pretty awful. Bob Clark, and he started off doing horror films, like Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things and Death Dream and stuff like that, and also Black Christmas, the original one. Well, anyways, I really liked the original Porky. I thought it was really funny. That gets a 10 out of 10. Now, I saw it again on Cinemax, or Encore, something like that. And it's weird. It doesn't hold up like it, like you thought it. You think it would. It doesn't hold up like it. It doesn't hold up now that much. At least I don't think so. And I remember seeing the second one. I don't know if he did that one. Well, let me go to the box office before I forget. And that was a 10 out of 10 for that one. Now the first Porky's, they don't have the. They do have the production budget of Porky's, right? And this is why they made the sequels. You know, the production budget for the original Porky's was $4 million. The domestic opening weekend was $7,623,988. Now the domestic box office and the total worldwide box office is over $109,492,484, and that's why they made the sequels. And then like a year later, because that came out March 19th, 1982. June 24th, 1983 came Porky's 2 the next day. Now, a lot of people said that one sucked. I didn't see that one until I was watching City TV, which was Canadian TV, and they would show movies uncut, like Friday night and Saturday night, because we didn't have cable, but that was like our cable. They'd show like, I think Friday night or Saturday night, they'd have like 3 movies in a row, and they'd be uncut. And Porky's 2 the next day was on there. And I thought that was really funny. I liked the movie. I'd probably give that a 9 out of 10. One as good as the original one, but I know some people really hated that movie. Now, that, like I said, it came out June 24th, 1983. They don't have the production budget for that one, but they said it made $7,054,988 is opening weekend, and then totally it made $33,759,266, which isn't too bad. Now, the next one was Porky's Revenge, and Porky's Revenge was a very conventional film. I was actually really disappointed with it. That was the only one we rented on videotape. Well, I rented Porky's. I did rent Porky's 2 the next day, and when I was in Fort Bragg, I got from the library to watch it again because I haven't seen it in a long time. I still like the movie, but I mean, it was alright. I won't bother to rent Porky's Revenge again because I thought Porky's Revenge was lame. Like I said, I remember we rented it, and I think we saw it a second time. My dad didn't like it. I thought I would like it. Usually, if there's like a movie series and then they do like a revenge that says Porky's Revenge or something like that, it's usually not very good. I don't know why. Like I said, very conventional film. I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. I wasn't a big fan of that one. And that was the last of the Porky's franchises. Let me see. Yeah, that opening weekend it did 6,207,507, which is still really good. And remember, this is the 80s, and this came out March 22nd, 1985. And the domestic box office was 20,518,000, which is still pretty good for back then. But I think that was it for the Porky's movies. I think even fans were disappointed with that one. I wasn't a fan of it. And that was the guy who played Porky came back for that one because he wasn't in the second one, I don't think. Well, there you have it for my thoughts of the Police Academy film franchise and also the Porky's franchise. I'm surprised this went 27 minutes. I didn't think I had enough to talk about. I guess I did. That's why I like doing these. I like doing these ones on a weekend. I can upload these anytime. Because I usually end up spending talking a lot about these movies. Usually, if I try to do my thoughts on a franchise on a weeknight stuff, it usually ends up being kind of rushed. But if I usually do this early in the morning, you get some good thoughts about these series. You know, I've been wanting to do the Police Academy ones for a while, but I kind of just put it off. So I hope you like this video. Until next time, please take care, my legion. Awesome. Thank you very much for tuning in.